This is elderflower, and this is what we're going to be making our spindles for our hand drill out of today. And when we're looking at elderflower, we're trying to find a straight piece. This is the spindle we want. It's second year's growth, so it's a lot greener than the surrounding wood. It doesn't show too well at the camera, and it's reasonably straight. We can straighten this one through the fire and bend it back into shape. So we're going to take this one and dry it. This is also elderflower, but this is dead. But unfortunately, it's not straight. But we can still use this, and I'll show you how. We need a hearth board. So I've picked a notch-free sections, which I'm going to use as a hearth board. We want a knot free because when we split it in half, it'll give it a clean split. If it's got too many knots, they'll divert it over and it won't be lying flat for us. So this is going to be our hearth board. If you can't find a long enough shaft or straight enough, you might have to make do with a shorter piece what's wrinkly. And what we need to do is cut about a 2-inch section from this. Being elder, it has a pithy centre of which we can drill into using the tip of our knife. We could bind this now, but I don't think it's going to split on me, so I'm not going to bind it. To get that around our length, I've cut a piece of hazel, and I'm just beginning to trim the tip down so this can be inserted on top. Like so. As this tip is the only bit what's going to be contacting with our baseboard, this is the only wood what needs to be dry and strong, so we can get that downward motion going. This is a good way around if you can't find the long straight spindle. This is a hand drill that I've prepared at home. It consists of a baseboard and an elderberry spindle. To get around the problem of bearing pressure, I've introduced a piece of string with loops at the top of it. This allowed me to bear down on the pressure. I've also prepared a tinder bundle to the side of me, and we also need something to catch the dust, which is this little piece of bark. Our baseboard, we need to carve a depression in. And it has to be wide enough for the spindle top to sit in nicely and snug. I'm hoping that'll be it. It seems to be working. That's sitting in there nicely. I've attached a piece of string to the top and 2 loops that I put my thumbs in. This is so I can apply downward pressure. And we want this to start to char and smoke. Which it is. We now need to cut out a segment about the size of an 1/8. Coal generating friction fire lighting. The walls have to be smooth so it doesn't hold the dust up. which eventually turns into our coal. There's our segment cut out. Putting this on the ground, and for support I'm bringing over a piece of stick what I'm going to nail on, which hopefully will help it stop moving. Of course, you could have somebody hold the board for you as well, that's not a problem either. Getting back into position, putting our thumbs in our loops, and with our fingers slightly splayed, we'll rotate. Again, we're going to start off slow to generate heat, a little bit faster to generate the charred dust, and faster again, and as hard and as long as possible, let's say 30 seconds or so, to generate enough heat to hopefully generate a coal. Getting there. That's beginning to move a little bit, so I'm going to get a little bit closer. We weren't far off, just need to go a little bit faster and a little bit longer this time. The coal has a lot of loose dust in the center, which I think is stopping me generating a coal. So I'm just going to get rid of that, because it's the fine char dust that will ignite for us. If you don't make these decisions when you come across them, you just try to keep on going and wear yourself out. generated coal now. With the hand drill coals, they're very small and very delicate. So at this stage there is absolutely no rush at all. We're going to remove it. There's a little breeze, you can see by the smoke, and fan it. In our prepared Tundle bundle, we're going to place it into the centre. We need to pinch it quite firmly. And that's fire with the hand drill.